I wanted to try a little bit of a different project on my CNC machine. So a friend of mine, Sally, who I do some bike riding with, has a real estate company. So I asked her to send me her logo, and she sent that to me in a JPEG format. And unfortunately, my CNC machine does not import that file format, so I went to a free internet site and had that converted over to a DXF file, which my CNC will import. But normally when that happens, when you import it, you get a lot of noise and miscellaneous little pieces in the background, which you can see here, all these little triangle shapes. So I've kind of got to go through here manually and highlight those and delete all those out, and it's can take a little bit of time, but getting much better at doing that. I'm sure there's a easier way to do this directly on the software, but this seems to work pretty well. So once I've gone through and kind of cleaned up all that miscellaneous noise from the file conversion, what I end up with is a file that looks like this. Bring that up here. And here the United Real Estate logo is cleaned up with not a lot of noise in the background. And I just actually noticed this after I had finished milling this out a little while ago, that the software imported these T's slightly different. This one's curved here and this one's got a little right angle here, but that's what it is because I've already built out this project, so I'm doing this after the fact. But in any case, so I got this logo in here, and now in my CNC software, which I use Carbide Create, which is a software that comes with Carbide 3D CNC machines, the Shikopo CNCs. And now what I've got to do is tell the software how I want it to mill. And I've done a lot of milling where I just cut out the letters into the wood, but this one's the first time I'm going to try to actually mill out the wood around the lettering, which I'll later fill in with epoxy. So there's a lot of steps I'll be actually skipping in the use of the software, but one of the things we do is we create what we call tool paths. So in this case, this is a project. The cutout's going to be somewhere around 7 by 14 inches or 173 by 360 millimeters for those on the metric system. So the thing is, I could, there's a lot of detail inside of some of these letters, and I could start off with a 1/16 or a 1/4 inch bit, and it would mill all that detail immediately, but it would take forever to mill all this open outside area. So what I'm going to do for the first time ever, I'm going to try this. I'm going to go ahead and create a tool path, which I've done here, that goes in and mills out almost all of this area with a 1/4 inch bit, and according to my CNC, that's about 37 minutes to mill all this area out at about 1.2 millimeters per pass, and this carved out area is going to be about 5 millimeters deep. So you can see, like here over by the E, this blue line represents the path that the router mill is going to take, the end mill, and the 1/4 inch is just too big to fit inside this gap of the E. So I could change that tool path over to using come here and say hardwood end mills, and we'll switch that over to a 1/8 inch end mill. Okay, and save that. And now you can see there's a lot more blue lines on here, but each pass of the bit's going to take off a little bit less material. But since the bit is smaller, it will fit in to these little gaps. So now on this E, we've got some blue in here, which represents that the tool will have space to get in there and mill out a little bit of the material. But if I did this, the run is actually now up to 184 minutes with all that detail. So let's just go here and change that operation over to a 1/16 inch bit and mill, and we'll pick the 1/16 inch tool, hit OK and OK. Now we've got really tight blue lines, and now we can see over here on the E that the mill bit actually has space to go inside this E here, carve out the middle, and the letters would look way more complete. It can get inside the A here and do that as well, and it looks way more fine. However, now we're up to 691 minutes of mill time. So that's just really not an effective use of the CNC. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch this back over to the 1/8 inch bit, or I'm sorry, the 1/4 inch bit. And now we're back to a 46-minute mill time for the bulk of this. So we'll have one pass of the tool that will cut this 1/4 inch out in 46 minutes. So let me shut that tool path off. And now we're back to our original project, and I'll turn on the other tool path I've already created, which is just the outline around the lettering. So in the previous mill, we'll run at a 1/4 inch bit, and then I'm going to switch over to the 1/8 inch bit, and that will give us a tighter cut to get inside these letters. And I actually think on this setup here, yeah, this is actually set over to the 1/16 inch bit. So you can see we're back to getting in this tight area, and so we'll get much more good detail in the lettering. And because the 1/16 inch bit is only going around the perimeter of each letter to clean it up, it will only take 24 minutes. So by using two separate mill processes with two separate bits, I can really cut down the mill time, and I'll have video that will follow up on that in just a second. So this is just a brief overview of how you can use different tool paths and switching bits in mid-process to considerably cut down your machine running time. So there you have the quick overview there, and now we'll get on to some video of the actual CNC process. Thanks for watching today. Especially thank you if you're able to get through all that techno mumbo jumbo at the beginning of the video before we got on to the part of actually making some sawdust. And Sally, hope you like this as well. If you have any comments or questions, please write them below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, please click on the thumbs up button and subscribe with the round button in the middle of your screen. Thanks again.